Ukrainian troops destroyed 3 Russian tanks and set another vehicle on fire as Russian soldiers fled in the jungle in the critical Donetsk region on Wednesday, according to a video shared by the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Soldiers of the Special Operations Forces of the Ukrainian Armed Forces ambushed the enemy in a large forest in the Donetsk region, the Facebook video captions. During the operation, the SSO combat group set fire to a Russian combat vehicle and destroyed a crew of 3 Tigers. The video shows Ukrainian soldiers running through the jungle during a counteroffensive in Ukrainian separatist territory that has been a major battleground for both sides since the Russian invasion on February 24. Over the weekend, nearly 370 civilians were evacuated from the area, according to the main directorate of the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. After the ambush, the operators of the SSO of Ukraine began to perform other tasks without losses, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said on Monday. We remind all occupiers that unauthorized walks through Ukrainian forests will always end badly for them. Since the invasion began, 2,254 Russian tanks have been destroyed. In recent weeks, Russia has deployed more of its Soviet-era tanks from storage as Moscow continues to expand its war efforts, a move Ukrainian officials have mocked online. Old Soviet tanks taken out of conservation by Russia with no protection against modern weapons, Anton Gerashenko, advisor to Ukraine's Minister of Internal Affairs, tweeted last week. And new Russian conscripts also with no protection against modern weapons and a modern army, we've seen what they fight in. Perfect combination, doomed for success, I would say. Donetsk, where Monday's attack was carried out, is among 4 regions in Ukraine where referendums are being held to decide whether the occupied territories will join Russia. Moscow is hoping to annex Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, and what some said is designed to build Russian President Vladimir Putin's case for a nuclear attack. The West has already said it will not acknowledge what it called sham votes. Last week, Putin also announced a partial mobilization of about 300,000 reservists, a campaign that sent the nation into a tailspin as Russian men fled the country to avoid being drafted for the war. The Russian soldiers had fled weeks before. But they left their traces everywhere. Records of calls from commanders, details of battles, men killed and equipment destroyed, and accounts of a breakdown in morale and discipline. In all, the bunker yielded thousands of pages of documents. Reuters reviewed more than 1,000 of them. They detail the inner workings of the Russian military and shed new light on events leading up to one of President Vladimir Putin's most stinging battlefield defeats, Russia's chaotic retreat from Ukraine's northeast in September. In the weeks before that defeat, Russian forces were struggling with surveillance and electronic warfare. They were using off-the-shelf drones flown by barely trained soldiers. Their equipment for jamming Ukrainian communications was often out of action. By the end of August, the documents show, the force was depleted, hit by death, desertions, and combat stress. 2 units accounting for about 1/6 of the total force were operating at 20% of their full strength. The documents also reveal the increasing effectiveness of Ukraine's forces and offer clues to how the 8-month-old war might unfold, with Russia now under intense pressure on the southern front around the Black Sea coast. In the weeks before their retreat, Russian forces around Balaklia, a town 90 kilometers south of Kharkiv, came under heavy bombardment from himars rocket launchers, recently supplied by the United States. The precision missiles repeatedly hit command posts.